I just finished one of the most difficult tarot readings I've ever had to give to somebody else. So whenever I do a reading, I always I want my channeling and my reading of the cards to be as pure as it can possibly be. Because it's not nice to have to give bad news to somebody. And I know that as a reader, I held some sort of power over the person coming for a reading just because they are trusting me, right? When you are, or when someone is placing their trust in me by coming to one of my readings or asking for one, they are giving me the power to kind of interfere a little bit in their lives. And why? Because words have power, right? And if I say, and I know I can influence someone, if I say that something good will happen in this person's life, most probably the person will leave feeling upbeat and motivated and like shining bright and all of that. But if I say something bad, or that things will not work out, or some disempowering thoughts or energy, the people will be down. And so there is some sort of power bestowed upon me by the person who comes for a reading. And I take that power very seriously. I've had people come to me asking about their marriages, about their health, about their partner, about their relationship, about their jobs. Not every time there are good news. Sometimes the information that comes through says that things will not work out, or things will be a little bit tough before they get easier. And I try to deliver the information, as I said, as best as I can, and with all the integrity. But today was a little bit hard not to give bad news to the person coming for the reading. And again, I take my job very seriously. And the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes I wish to give you good news all the way. But good news don't forge people, not all the time. There are some times that we need to get good news to get empowered and to get motivated and to get going, because the fire we need to get going and to make things happen is in that good news, is in that motivation. Not this time. The person that came for the reading needed to hear the bad news, needed to know things are not going to be okay, needed to hear that there will be pain and that things are not going to work out the way she wants them to work out. And we asked the same question a couple of times in different ways, and the answer was the same. She is not going to have a baby. She is not going to fix things with her husband. She is not going to feel empowered for a while. She is not going to be successful in her job. She may fall into depression. And so that pretty much covers every single aspect of a human life. And if not every single one, at least, yes, the most important ones, the ones we always ask about. And so basically, what this girl heard during her reading is that life, as she knows it, is going to be destroyed. And she is not going to recover from it in the way she thinks she will, because again, she wishes for her marriage to work, for her baby to be born through the current husband she has. So the reason I am sharing this with you now is because not every time there are good news or we'll receive good news right away. But that doesn't mean they are bad news. It just means that's what we need to hear or go through so we can get to the good news. Something that came up as well in relation to this during one of my workshops was that The people attending the workshop are working on developing their skills and their psychic gifts and their intuition. And as every single person that starts on this journey, they are afraid they will make a mistake. They don't trust themselves and they fear they might not understand the messages they are receiving or they won't be able to decode them properly. Something that came through during that workshop was, let me save you the struggle or the expectation rather than uncertainty. Let me save you the uncertainty. You will make a mistake. You won't get it right from the first time. You will fail. So just get on with it. Start failing. Because after you're done with the failing, you will start to rise above the failure. You will start to learn. Each failure will teach you something, will show you the right way. And so it was the same with this girl in the reading today, and it's the same with you. If you're listening to this, it's because maybe you may have been going through something similar or are going through something similar where nothing seems to be working in your life, where things seem to be out of balance, where nothing ever is going on your favor. But there is a reason for that, and something I keep getting throughout my life as well, throughout my experience, because it hasn't been without my personal struggle, is there is a reason for all of that pain and hardship. There is a reason why things are not working the way you want them to work. And that reason cannot be understood by the level of consciousness you currently have. It has to be understood and seen through a higher level of consciousness, through a higher being. You need to elevate your vibration or your consciousness to be able to understand why you are going through what you are going, to be able to understand the lesson, to call it somehow. And the only way you can do that, the only way you will be able or are able to stop the struggle or stop struggling is by raising your vibration, raising your consciousness. Raising your consciousness or seeing it from a different perspective is raising your vibration. All will raise your vibration automatically because you will have a different vision for your life and you will have a different perspective of why you are struggling and you will understand your struggle not as a struggle but as a blessing. And I know that's a big word because for the longest time the struggle that put me in this path did not look or seem to be a blessing. It was very painful. It broke my heart. And until recently, almost 5 years later, I am only now able to put the pieces back together, even though I thought I did it a while ago. Recently, they showed me, my guides, that that was not the case, that there were still some pieces of heart that were not integrated within myself. And so I had to integrate them if I wanted to keep going, to move forward, to understand my life from a better light. And so that's what I'm doing, going through the experiences and observing them and understanding them and knowing that there is a reason for them and that I will get through to the other side. I will get through the other side of life because when imagine that a painful experience is a very bright light, right? Like and you when you enter that painful experience, you enter that very bright light. So when you are walking towards it and when you are inside of it, you cannot see anything, even though there is a lot of light or light is everywhere surrounding you. But it's so bright that you can't see. You seem to be lost. You seem to be astray. But what's actually happening, or you seem to be in darkness, but what's actually happening is you are surrounded by light. That's why you don't see. That's why you seem to be blind because there is so much of it around you that it blinds you and makes you get dark. It gets dark in here because there is so much light. So that's basically why we experience pain. Because pain isn't darkness, it's just a very bright light. And until we start to see it that way, we won't understand why there is pain in our life.